Welcome to Frenzied Printing. My name is Becky. I'll be your host. Let's get into today's video. This video, like I said in my last video, was going to be a tips and tricks video on how to save on waste when you're multicolor printing. So here's a model that I chose that has 4 different colors. It's painted beautifully. So right away I can notice some things to do to improve the amount of plastic that I'm going to use to print this. But let's just say that I was going to just click print and print this guy out as is. Roughly $22. Remember, every color change that we have in here has to be accounted for 1 penny. So I have to add $16.92 US onto the price of the model itself, which is $5.17. So altogether $22. That's a lot of money for this one little guy. Like, I would have to sell it for at least 30 bucks just to make a little bit of money. We're not even talking about booth space rental and stuff like that. You really have to factor everything in depending on how you're selling it. If you're shipping this, you have to factor in shipping cost. That's really expensive for this little toy. All right, so let's see what we can do to reduce that. If we're looking at this, we can see that it's got a lot of supports. It has to. Look at those wings. They can't just print in midair. You can't just shut off your supports. Your print will fail. We also have this big giant block of prime tower over here. First thing I would suggest is trying to separate your model into parts so that you can print them separately. A lot of files come separated and assembled. So if your file came with separate pieces, I would recommend printing the wings, the head, the body separate. You'll save money right away just doing that. So let me show you that. If your model did not come with separated files already, you can try to separate it yourself. If you just right click on it and go to split, you can go to split to objects, and hopefully that will split this up into 3 objects like we have here. Now I have this same model, same painting, same size in 3 parts. The head, the wings, and the body, all on the same plate. And this one cost roughly $17, whereas the last one was $22. So we did save a little bit of money splitting the model. Let's see if we can save a little bit more. So I went ahead and put each piece on a separate build plate just to see if this would save us any money at all. I think it really depends on how tall each piece is and how many colors each piece has. $13.44 plus $3 plus 48 cents and 40 cents and 3.48 and 86 cents. So this is like 21.50-ish. So it didn't save us money, actually cost us a little bit more doing that. Another small thing we can do is we can increase our layer height. So the fewer number of layers, the fewer color changes. If we change that to like a 0.2 layer height, which is pretty standard for a lot of models, we'll see the number of color changes will decrease. Yeah, so we can see color swaps is going to be $8.10, and the cost of the model is $272, bringing our price down to $10.82 US. Most people don't mind printing at a 0.2 layer height. I don't prefer it. I don't like to see the layer lines on my model, so I like my product to be better looking than the person in the booth, 2 booths over or next to me or whatever have you. So I don't print at 0.2, but if you don't mind it, by all means print at a 0.2 layer height and reduce the cost. There are other things that can reduce the cost. So let's look at those as well. You can also decrease your infill. I almost never print higher than a 7 or 8% infill unless I'm making something functional or something that has to be sturdy because it's going to be weight bearing, or used a lot, dropped a lot, things like that. So I would not print this at 15% infill. That is the default infill percentage for these preset print profiles. Here we go, back at a 0.12 layer height, and we changed our infill density to 7%, 13.44 color change, and $3.50 for model weight. That's roughly $17. So we went from $22 to $17 just by changing the density for your infill. What else can we do? Let's add more models to the plate. Let's duplicate this and make 2 dragons instead of just 1. There we go. We have 2 dragons on the same build plate, and now our model price is $13.44 for color changes and $4.80 for model weight. $18.24 total. But don't forget that we get to divide by 2 because we are going to sell these guys separately, so they share the burden of the color swap price. That brings our price down to $9.12 per dragon, which is the cheapest we've done so far. So if you wanted to go really, really cheap and you didn't mind the reduction in quality, you could do both things. Make more models plus increase your layer height. That would make these very cheap. The other thing we didn't discuss was print time. So if you have smaller layer heights, yes, your model is going to look nicer. It's going to take longer to print. If you have bigger layer height, then your model is not going to look as nice and it's going to print faster, so less electricity. When you're factoring out pricing things, you should factor in the amount of electricity that it takes you to print the item as well. This one here, leaving at a 0.12 and having 2 models on the build plate, we can see that the total print time is going to be 1 day, 16 hours. And the 0.2 layer height models, we have 1 day, 0 hours. So you save 16 hours of electricity by increasing your layer height as well. So some things that you may want to consider when printing your models and pricing them and factoring in all of the costs. Another thing you can do is add a flush object to your build plate. So what you can do is flush all of the waste plastic, well, not all of it, but some of it, into another object, or 2 or 3 or 4, however many you can fit on the build plate without going over. So you'd have to calculate how much flush volume is on each layer, and then also calculate how much will be printed on each layer of a flush object, so that you don't put too many flush objects on your plate or too little flush objects on your plate. Also, you want to make sure that your flush objects are as tall as your last color change. So what I did was I picked a flush object. It's this little fidget alien spinner keychain. I don't care what color this object is going to end up being. That's because I'm not going to control it. The printer will control what color this object ends up because it's going to flush all of the waste plastic, or some of the waste plastic, into this object instead of flushing it into the garbage bin. So I can't control what color this object will be, but I loaded it in a separate incident of the slicer because I need to see some things first. I need to see how big it is, and I needed to see how tall my last color change was. Your prime tower will only print to the height of your last color change. So once you slice your plate, you can move the slider bar down until you see the prime tower starts to get smaller. Mine is at 63.2 millimeters tall. So I go back over into this instance and change the Z height to 63.2, which tells me it's 91.09% in size. So now I'm going to add this model to my other build plate and make sure that I scale it down to that size. I'm also going to shut off my prime tower. That's something else that you can do to save plastic. You don't have to have a prime tower. Prime tower does help clean the nozzle in between flushes. It's not 100% necessary. If you want to, you can also change the size of your prime tower. You can make it much smaller. You'd have to go over here into your settings under others and then change the width and the prime volume, or leave the prime value the same and just change the width. It's up to you. Sometimes I go down pretty skinny on these. That will also save you some plastic. I'll add the flush object to the plate. Now what I can do is I can right click this flush object, go to flush options and put flush into object like that. Flush into objects infill. Flushing into infill will help keep the plastic flushes between color changes out of the garbage bin and into your model so that you're not wasting. You can actually flush into infill on all of these objects. The only time I would suggest not flushing to infill is when you have a very light color object. So if you're printing something white, like a polar bear or a white cat or something like that, and it has black eyes or black accents or black spots or stripes or whatever, what happens is the filament is slightly opaque. It's like slightly transparent, but not fully. So if you have black infill and a white wall, you're going to see some of the blackness, some of the darkness coming through. So that's the only time I suggest not flushing into your object's infill. Everything else that has a darker surface, go ahead and flush into the infill. This will save you some plastic. Now, my little alien that's on the plate, it doesn't take up the whole plate. There's another space on here. And I highly doubt that this object is going to absorb 810 flushes or 1600 flushes, however tall your layer height is. That's how many flushes you're going to have. So I could probably add a couple more of these on here safely and say that those flushes are going to actually not be wasteful. I put 4 of the flush objects on the plate, so hopefully they will absorb most of the wasted plastic from the dragon. We flushed into infill, so some of the waste plastic will be used inside the model, meaning we don't have to print that plastic, which saves on plastic. I'm still going to print at a 0.12 layer height, so I'm not going to sacrifice any of the external quality, and then we can see how much we are now costing. So $13.44 color changes and $5.55 on the plastic. That's for the entire plate of objects I have here. So not bad. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that I can sell. So now I can split all of the cost among 6 different sales. That brings us down to $3.15 per object. The dragons are probably going to be worth more because they're cleaner in color and appearance. With the aliens, they'll probably be worth a little less because they're going to be just derpy looking, but still cute and still something that's marketable. We've really saved a lot of money putting these tips into practice. What you'll also notice here is that it's the same amount of electricity. One day, 16 hours. So, well, we'll round it up to 17 hours because that says 58 minutes. One day, 17 hours on print time. The reason it didn't increase is because it normally takes a long time for the printer head to move over to the trash bin and flush all of the color out to start the next color. Instead of doing that process, it's going to come over here and zip into these four little guys and flush it into them. We are spending the same amount of time flushing into object as we would flushing into the garbage bin. What you can do to measure how much money you're spending on electricity is buy one of these watt meters, plug in your Ace Pro and your Cobra 3 into a power strip, and then plug the power strip into one of these. Run it for 1 hour. Then take the measurement from this watt meter, go to your electric bill, and figure out how much you pay per watt. If the cost to print this plate full of models is $19 and I charge $10 per dragon, $5 per keychain, that's $40. That means I have $21 in profit, but then you have to subtract how much electricity you spent on printing this. Then you also want to pay yourself for your time, especially if you're going to paint something by hand. And then you'll also have to factor in if you have any shipping costs or if you have any booth space rental fees or something like that. Did we really make money? You might want to consider doing some more of the steps that I talked about to see if you can shave a little bit off to actually make a profit on this. Is $21 enough? Well, that depends on your overhead. There's one other thing that you can do to help reduce waste or get rid of it altogether, and it really depends on whether or not you're in the market for a new printer or you have the budget for it. I've been looking into multi-head tool printers where there's multiple printer heads on one printer, and each head has its own color assigned to it so that it doesn't have to flush any color out. So none of your plastic is going in the garbage in between color changes. I'm going to continue to look into those. The ones that are available right now on the market are very expensive for 4 colors or even 5. I think one of the machines goes up to 5 tool heads. It's super duper expensive. There's one right now that I'm following very closely on. It's going to be launching soon on Kickstarter, but they already have a Facebook page for it. It's Wonder Maker 3D. What's that saying? If I win the lottery, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there would be signs. Yeah, that's what I would invest in, the multi-tool head printers. So that's all the tips I have for you guys. If you have tips that I didn't cover, please put them in the comments. Thanks.
Luna the shop mascot says, if you're enjoying this content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.